You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa. Greetings, greetings. Happy Kwanzaa Day 3. Happy Kwanzaa to all of you. I've been seeing very beautiful videos circulating the YouTube about the Kwanzaa celebrations out there in the US, and it's very refreshing. I wish I could actually download some of those videos so that we play here, but because they're posting it, the individuals, the groups are posting it in different forums, it's difficult actually for me to play them with you here. I mean, it's so refreshing, like, and I wish we had started this long time ago. We should have been really running away with this celebration that unites and brings us together. So I want to thank all of you, Brother Parker. Thank you so very much. Like, you are just the number one. I'm telling you, this 2025 or 2025 is actually going to bring more energy in this space. I mean, I see your engagement, Mr. Parker. Of course, you always had been, don't get me wrong, but like the energy this time around is even more. Thank you so much for the encouragement. Thank you for the inspiration. I mean, when we gather together and we see that everybody is engaged, it's a collective work and taking responsibility. Exactly, that's our topic for celebrating Kwanzaa Day 3 today. Okay, the topic is Ujima. And Ujima means the collective work and responsibility of building a community. So what are we going to be talking about today? We're going to talk about the benefits of working together and taking responsibility. We're going to start, we have to start from the whole continent itself, from our people, from our history, and we bring the importance and try to showcase the importance of what collective work and responsibility has done to us as African people. So while we are celebrating Kwanzaa Day number 3 under the theme and the principle of Ujima, we have to understand that before we even go back into get into the topic of the day, we need to first of all clap for ourselves. You know, in the village in this time, everybody will raise up their cup of palm wine and cheers to success for everything that we have been before we move forward into talking about the collective. So I want to share this with you. I want to cheers with you, you know, the water of life as I drink water and always mind my business. Please, whatever you're doing, whether you're eating or you're doing anything, just raise up your cup and let us celebrate the work that African people from the time of our forefathers and our foreparents and our ancient African history, everything that we have gone through, it is time for us to celebrate as we move together to work as a collective, as a people that are taking responsibility of our lives, of our communities, of our challenges, even in our private lives. Okay. So Ujima Day 3 teaches us the power of working together, collaboration, networking, building the Africa we want together. It has never been the project of one individual. And that's why in our African language or proverb, we say, or like in Pidgin from Cameroon, as a Bamenda girl, you know, we say, one hand no fit tie bondo. One hand no fit tie bondo. I would break it down to your understanding. In the village, when there's a conflict and the community comes together, They would always share palm wine. They would share kola nuts. They would share these things that unite us. And so, like Mr. Parker said the other day, they will put it in the bowl, in a calabash. People will wash their hands and they will pick it. And at the end of that gathering, they're going to bring water. The elders will bring water in a calabash and they pass it around, and everybody is going to take and drink from the same calabash. And that's a symbol of unity. That's a symbol of collectiveness. That's a symbol of responsibility. So while we enter Ujima day 3 today, I want to actually explain the impact and the benefit that it has brought to us. Remember, we are not learning anything new. Remember, we are not seeing anything new either. But what we are doing is thinking something new with what we have been seeing all the time. The images of Africa will not change. The promoters and the haters of Africa would share always the wrong images. That's not going to change. But the problem or the solution for Africans is, how do I see and what do I think of those images I see? So that is why day 3 is very, very important, to talk about the impact that our collectiveness and our responsibility has been able to do since the time of the creation of the universe up till now. The responsibility and the roles and the impact that our collectiveness has brought to the unity of the African people worldwide and even to mankind. So I would share videos with you. I would share, that video is very unique. How the Ethiopians came together and defeated the big West called Italians. We are proud of that history. We're going to be proud of that history. Our children will forever be proud of that history. Okay, so I'm going to show you in the end a short video, a motivation video. One of the greatest sons of Ethiopia made a declaration recently as we went to the museum of the Adwa battle, and he said something that brought everyone crying. In the end, I will show you that video. And that's the power of collectiveness. But even from that, we're going to define what collective work and responsibility mean. Actually, in a secular way, we understand when we say collective is coming together, is togetherness and build something together. Like I said, our African proverbs, from the southern region of Cameroon say, one hand no fit tie bundle. I can text it right here. You can also research it. One hand of it tie bundle means no single individual can actually tie a parcel. This hand cannot do it alone without the support of this hand. But not only this hand cannot do it alone, even the fingers and everything that is made, to make that parcel, to parcel it. I wish I would have brought my cookie. I would have been able to show you what that means, but we'll be doing it in the subsequent edition, okay? Like this hand can actually collectively alone, single-handedly, not tie a parcel because it needs this hand together and it needs all the fingers. So our 10 hands and our 10 fingers, that's why the creator was so intelligent to give us things that we already need. Apart from the luxury that we want, why would I want to use, instead of my fingers, to eat my injera or my achu, and I will be struggling with a spoon and a fork just because somebody told you that you eating your injera with your fingers is not table manners. Because somebody just came and told you that you eating your ugali, okay, and eating your fufu is primitive when you eat with your fingers. I know even the Senegalese culture that eat rice, because sometimes we'll say, no, fufu is something that has to be, bundled up so that you can eat it. No, the Senegalese culture and the Malian culture, they eat rice as a collective. And they really would gather it. We'll learn all those things. We'll gather it because we're entering into 2025 and we're talking about our responsibility. Even the way we represent is responsibility enough to build the Africa we want. We made a statement yesterday. If you're ashamed of me in public, I'll be ashamed of you in darkness. That's what our ancestors say. Okay. So we will have to learn to unapologetically represent in 2025. I don't care what I'm eating in a five-star restaurant. If I order my rice, I'm going to eat it with my fingers. We did it in New York at the Black Excellence Conference when we went out with Professor James Small and the girls. We did it. We ate our rice in a whole huge, and everybody was actually, and people were literally like leaving their spoons and coming together to eat with us. Okay. So you promoting the images is a collective work, even if you do it as an individual or you do it as a community. And then you will also understand, like in the African proverbs that also say, single drops of rain make an ocean. That's also a proverb that teaches us about the collective work and the responsibility. So every single input you as an African contribute to building the Africa we want, whether it is narrative, it is storytelling, any single thing that you are doing in your own space to promote the image of Africa, it is a collective work that goes to the benefit of the African on anywhere on earth. Okay? Because remember, we're building a new generation. The children are coming together. So every single things we'll do would actually change the stereotypes about the future. So I just wanted to bring this ideas first before we get into our presentation of today on the third day of Ujima. Why our collective work and taking responsibility in building the Africa we want is of essence. Since yesterday, in yesteryears, it is still relevant today, and it's even getting even more relevant as we gain our consciousness. Okay. So I want to thank all of you that are watching. I can already see you here. My my prominent family members are already sitting here, but I'm just kind of like, give you a shout out for you to understand that I see you. I see all of you that are watching. You're watching in your 50s in the numbers, and the numbers are increasing, right here in the backstage. So I just want to throw a shout out to you guys. Drop your comment, drop your motivation, drop your cases in the chat, and I will bring it for others to read and see. Okay. So just type in the comment section. Like I say, most of you, I know you, we literally, we don't even know maybe how to type in. Just go at the screen at which you're watching me right now. If you look at it at the right hand side or the left hand side, depending on what you can type, you can send a message of greetings. You can send a message of power, because that's the collectiveness. We need that spirit in this place right now. So as I open this session by sharing water with all of us and calling upon the powers that be, the powers of our ancestors, to be with us and show us the light and give us more wisdom and open our hearts, our minds, and our eyes to actually speak as one voice, one people, one culture, one knowledge, one ancestry, one root, one DNA. So today we're going to open up Ujima. Why is it important? The benefit of us and to our culture. And I'll be giving some examples in a picture slideshow later on, what single communities have been able to do to create a whole national image, starting from the continent itself. So let's go. All right, as I open our presentation today, we already know today is, yes, good afternoon, Brother Nobles, is day 3. Day 3 tells us we are in Ujima. That's day 3 today. And it says to build, oh my God, let me go to the next slide where I actually like, Ujima is bringing, the spirit of Ujima is bringing us our collective work and responsibility. And like I said, all these things we do it every day. It is not something that we just reminding ourselves and reminding, putting some of the things that you do but you keep thinking that you still need to do something extra, super ordinary, but you're already just doing it. So our job or my passion or my mission on earth is actually to bring those big things that you've been doing, but you keep ignoring them. You keep thinking that you need to do something super extraordinary. But the Creator and your ancestors and the Most High really just brought you for that purpose. And every single drop that you're dropping in your community, in your families, in your individual lives, forms the whole ocean that makes this collective and this power that we're talking about today. So it is about seeing the same thing, but thinking something new of the things that you say and do in your life. So Ujima brings the reminder that we build and maintain the community together and solving problems collectively. So I want to show you the benefits and show you how we have already been doing that. It's not something new. So when we come together, it's not that we want to learn how to work together or to take responsibilities. It's just reminding us and empowering us and thanking ourselves of how much we have been able to do this far and how much we would even do better. Okay. So thank you so much. So this is our collective work and coming together. But let us just, first of all, refresh our minds about the benefit of togetherness. What does togetherness mean? A collective, unity, ubuntu-ness. What does it mean to us? What are the benefits that you take from it? Whether it is just in your family of you and your husband, your kids, to your community, to your church, to your villages, to your towns, to your countries, to your continent, to the whole world. It takes a small contribution of every individual that has been on earth to make the world a better space. That is the power, the global picture of the working together and the benefits of being together. For instance, we're strengthening our social bond. Like I said, we take just our fingers. Like I said, in my village, they say one hand on the Thai fufu or Thai bondo. Okay. So take just your fingers. Like we said, there's just no way that this hand would say, no, I can do it by myself. Of course, we have technology today. I'm just saying it from the spiritual meaning of it. So the fingers work together. That's a social bond between your hands, just your hand, one parcel of yourself. Okay. It goes exactly to explain the collective of all of us. The same thing, it happens not only with us human being, it also happens even in the natural environment. You look at a tree and you look at the branches and you look at the leaves and you look at the roots. It's the same. Okay, you look at the earth, you look at what goes into the earth, what comes to back to feed the universe. It's the same. You look at the oceans, how they flow, but you have fishes, they can use the ocean for every other thing. So taking it from human point of view to natural point of view to the energies that control the universe, it works the same. The system is the same. Nothing works without the other. And you can understand why the creation is such a beautiful space, such a meaningful thing that sometimes we don't even pay attention to it. And we take from it and we collect from it, but we literally don't know that we are socially a human space that we cannot function without any other. Okay. So strengthening of our social bond is the benefit of us being together. That's why the universe is even the way it is. Everything is connected to the other. And now building together is just actually the mission of sharing this common vision together, like in our case, building our communities together. So what are some of the benefits again? We accelerate community development when we work together, when we build together, when we work as a collective, we pool our resources and skills together. Like no matter what I do, we are the resources on Pan-African Daily right now. Okay. I could not be speaking to myself alone. That would be insane, but the resources, the talents that come here to form this global entity or platform or a family that we are, it's just giving us the benefits what the power of collective and responsibility is. And then also, when we come together, we benefit because of our infrastructures. We build infrastructures that work for the collective good of each other. The roads that we do, the aircraft system, or the footpaths, or whatever thing. Without a community that comes together, we will not be able to be building these infrastructures for who already. And then it generates our collective effort, generates, the growth among us, the economic growth among us. Like you will see in a slide where we say we create jobs, we solve problems for the community. If you look at this image, in a situation of injury or catastrophe, it takes a whole team of different experts to be able to solve a community challenge like this one that we see. So coming together, the benefits are just not, they're endless. Okay. So we have this benefit of enhancing our social responsibility. For instance, through our civic engagement. Imagine we talk about political discourse all the time. If there were no politicians, if there were not political, if there were not even the opposition, if there were not the voices, the critics like us, platforms that actually are constantly demanding the rights of the marginalized, of the voiceless. Okay, we talk about discrimination all the time, racism all the time, every energy, negative energy that keeps us from working together, bringing our communities together, tearing us apart. So the benefits of coming together actually fortify us in our civic engagement. All right, the voice of the voiceless, being there for and those that are also creating jobs in the community, or just moving ahead, empowering communities and others. That's a benefit, a very big benefit. We know it from our platform, how much we have been able to impact our communities, our followers, and people and youths and children that are following us, just by empowering one another. You empower me, I empower you, we empower a collective. So the benefits are really, really enormous. They are endless. We promote inclusivity and equity. Of course, diverse perspective. We come together, we share perspective from different angles. That's the collective work and taking responsibility for our community as Black communities. Okay. Supporting businesses, building bridges. You look at the bridges we've been able to do in this short time to build, the diaspora, connecting back to the continent, and a lot of things. So the benefits of collective work and taking our responsibility is endless. Like literally, we cannot even exist without one another. That's even the power of Ubuntu. And you see, being there for each other is our African culture. Of course, we cannot even do otherwise. Like I said, this Ujima, day 3, talking about the collective and the responsibility, is just reminding what we've been doing every day. But probably we were not paying attention to it. And like we said, we keep thinking that we have to still do some super extra natural things. No, we're already there and we're doing so much good. We just need to continue and do even much better. And that's the empowerment that we have. Being there for each other is our African culture. I cannot rate myself. I cannot do things to myself. I need my sister. I need my brother. I need the community to be there for me. And I'm there for them. Okay. So Ujima is a collective thing. It's in our DNA. It's part of our community. It's part of our society. Okay. And then we have the benefits, like we said yesterday, again, resilience. Resilience, why? Because we're always going to be a Black person, or we as African, we're always going to get into one thing or the other. Like the universe actually fights and do everything to fight us, whether we like it or not, or we believe it or not. It's a fact. It's been proven and reproven again. We cannot really talk about much about that. So building resilience, when we come together as a collective force, creates a lot of impact. Like I said, we have crises to manage, communities to work that work together. We face a lot of challenges. Look at our people back home. They talk about climate change all this time. We know it, or even in those days, as natural disasters, health crisis, whatever. The wars on our continent, right? The wars that we don't even cause for ourselves. Now we have to solve all these problems in our different communities. We all undergo all sort of hate and energies that are working against us. So coming together and building that resilient, that civil society, taking care of and sustaining our grassroots movements, back home in our local communities where we are, it is a benefit for us working together as a collective. So, we need a lot. We're doing a lot, like I say, and we do it all the time. But most often, we still just don't think that we're doing something. So, this session is really about empowering us, for you to understand that every single thing you've been doing, you are just a part of this collective thing, this body, this energy that has made each and every one of us exist today. Okay. So now, taking responsibility, we've seen this is an image where one of our brothers, brother Stevie, or Steve, I'm sorry, not Stevie, Sister Stevie, I'm sorry. Mr. Steve Harvey went to Ghana and visited the door of no return. I mean, taking that responsibility to go out there to find out for itself, so that you can be able to understand, to get into the skin of your past, your roots. You can feel it, you can understand it, you can be there, in that space. It's a sign of a collective work. It's a sign of taking responsibility for my life, to engage and to find out my roots, my sources, what they went through, what my ancestors went through, for me to be an extension of it. So that's a collective effort. He came back and he made a whole video and conversations about it. You know how much people we reach out, and he reached out because of that. Okay. So one single benefit that we all do, one action that we do, comes back to really give us that, empower us about the power of our collectiveness, which still goes back to the first theme, the umoja, which comes back to the second day, self-determination. And today we're actually just saying the things that we've been doing, as a collective. So to empower us and to motivate and inspire us to do more, or to keep doing the same things. Okay. So, the benefits, we all grow together and we are fulfilled in our individual task and mission. All right. Nobody is left alone. It is what the secular education would call skills development. Each and every one, like I said, our parents, our ancestors who never even went to school, sponsored us to get all the education. How did they solve these challenges of disaster, of hunger? Of course, they did. They just put their mechanism in place that will fit each person. Okay. So that skills, everyone coming with its know-how. Even when we say develop, is because now if you don't bring your skill to the platform, how would I know that these are things that you do? My sister Stevie is a great filmmaker, a photographer, has a passion for that. And how would I know if I'd never met Stevie? He has all sort of cameras, has played in all sort of wonderful movies, in theater. And so how do I know? Of course, I know it because I saw her do it. So, our skills, when we come together, we discover what each other can do better than the other. And no one single person can do everything. Of course, we African people, we do everything, to be honest. And I think that's the reason why we need to stay focused, because we're so intelligently created, multitasking in such a way that given Africans something, they run it like nothing. Okay. And so, that skill development, the power of us coming together actually brings that skills and opportunities. We learn to work with each other. We're not learning. We've been doing it from time immemorial. I don't know anybody that does it like African people. The only reason I keep saying is because we just communicate differently. That's it. We keep justifying the stereotypes that say, oh, we don't work together, oh, we don't function together. Come on, give me a break. Go to Africa, to the continent. Ask even Chris Brown recently, his concert in South Africa. 2 days, and even they were even extending the third day. And this brother said he has never ever sold so much album and got so much love from the continent ever in his career. If you don't go down to the ground, you can never understand it. No matter how we say we know it, no matter how we TikTok, no matter how we see all these images, you need to be there. Touch your feet on that soil. You would understand why we're going crazy, for this continent. So yes, our skills come out. And of course, our purpose and our satisfaction means we have contributed as a collective to community growth, and contributing as a community to our team building and everything just empowers us. It just makes us feel great, makes us get that sense of responsibility that you're doing. Even just as you're here, just texting, and people are reading your messages, and people are seeing where you are watching from. It's a collective action that is so big. That is so big. The contribution of our siblings in the diaspora can never ever be underrated. I keep saying it all the time. The same thing as the those that stayed on the continent. Everywhere the African is moving from one place to the other, they create a huge impact, even just by representation, that a black man walks past around here and everybody is looking, even the dogs and the pets, is a representation that this species of beings are existing for you that have never seen or pretended to never have seen it. Okay, so just even representing, our representation is very important. Okay, you must not do something so big, so magical. You must not create some magic to be. You're already just doing the best of the best, just being you in the space. Okay, just being you as an African, different in your looks, your kinky, the way we talk, the way we smile, the way we shout, the way we do things is a representation of the image of the creator in the space that we are. So do not underestimate your being, your presence in every society, every community that you exist. Once you transit from this space, you are never going to represent it in this physical the way we do it. So representation as a collective effort in our work is very important. And those are some of the things that we take for granted. Okay? That's why gathering together in our spaces fortify us and give us the energy that we need. I already told you again, an African proverb say, you are your riches because of your people. You're only rich when you get people. In the villages, they'll say, if you cook food or you come to somebody's house and he's eating alone, in Africa, in the village, in my village, they will say you are a witch. How come you eat alone? How come you eat alone? So, like we say, if we stand tall, it is because we stand on the soldiers of the many ancestors. That's an African proverb, Ubuntu. So, every single thing that we are doing, we are only an extension of what has always been done from those that came, from us that are here, and from those that would actually continue while we are no longer here in another version. Okay? So we stand on the soldiers of all days that actually, for whatever reason, had to pay so much price, and so that we can see our Jesus. You see them, right? Most of them actually had to die crossing the river. Some decided and said, no, I cannot see this happen. I would jump down and that's it, right? If we are standing tall and we still doing all these things, is because we are actually operating on the foundations of the powers that be that has been existing. Okay, so our representation, that's what we talked about. Hey, resilience by every day, by every means necessary. Even if you have to empower you just with the black fist of black power, of the energy and the DNA and the melanin that flows in your vein every single time. It has nothing to do. It's a representation. It's the energy, it's the power, the collective power of resilience to say, I am standing on power. I am standing on truth. I am standing as a representative of this in this space for my people, for my race, for my nation, for my community, wherever I am. I contribute just even by representation. Okay, it is very important to always build up that fist, your muscles. There's nothing wrong with it. Call it anything you want to call. Get your fist as hard as much as possible. That's the collective power of abundance that we have, representing at all time, at all space, right? Yeah, so it is that power, that energy that we give to one another. Symbolism. Now look at this, right? The power of togetherness, the power of coming togetherness, the energy that you feel. I could never do it without my sister Cheryl. This was in New York at the Black Excellence conference. This hawk, I will never ever forget it in my life. You see, that's what symbolism does. It is not different from this one. It is not different. Like I say, it could be a one. It could be a one person standing tall and knowing the resilience and the resistance that we all have to stand to be able to evolve as a collective, putting our energy and our force together. It is the same. It is the same like this one. The hawk, the invincible hawk, the physical, the melting together, the power is crazy. So where did you learn the manners, as we say all the time? Where did you learn the manners of doing, like some people say, a French kiss or a French salute, like a distance handshake? Like, where did you learn this? In Africa, we hug each other. I met Cheryl for the first time. I didn't need to ask her permission. Can I hug you? Can I greet you? Can I touch you? Can I do? We just melted. And it's not only Cheryl, that all in terms of these pictures like this in this place, we were just opening up for each other, And remember, that was the time of this crazy stuff that was circulating here. This was 2022. You can imagine what happened in 2022 at that time. But we never thought otherwise or had the fear for anybody. We just hugged and melted with each other. And that was powerful. That's the power, the energy of collection, of a collective. Now you look at all these gentlemen, and the power walk, the leaders of the continent of Africa, holding up space for that continent. If they were not who they are, coming together, doing whatever they do, we will not even be there to talk about, oh, they're not doing right, they're not doing. So the power of collective, of coming together, even as the leaders of the continent of the 55 countries, do not underestimate that. Now take rewind it like it doesn't exist. How would we be talking about? What systems would we be talking about? What will we be empowering each other for? So the power of collectiveness in keeping this continent from the time in memorial of our ancestors, whether they are kingdoms, they are queendoms, and they are political systems and political bodies like this, it is still the power of a collective that puts and hold the continent together. Even regardless of what they are doing, we still see infiltrators from left, center, right. So just imagine if they were even not watchdogs of that continent, how would we be? I think all of us, I don't know, whatever it would have been happening right now. Okay. So, yes. And we get also to the women, the powerful sisters, and that are bringing the voices of the voiceless together. Like I told you, this was the women for peace and actually peace and security. Women from Sudan, I mean, from all the war-torn zones. Women from my country, from Cameroon, from the region where it's in conflict now, they were there. All of us were there. These women came together, they cried together, but they woke up, they cleaned their tears and said, we are going to solve these problems. Nobody would do it for us. And they did it. And they did it. Okay. So they do not ignore the power of the collective. That's what has kept us where we are today. And you are a part of that contribution. So as we see, look, here you would begin to say, oh, where is this? I mean, this is another project. That's my project here in Germany. You know, the festival project that we created since 2007. You cannot imagine the impact that we create every year when the African community gathers together in Tübingen. This is the Lord Mayor of Tübingen City till today. I mean, more than before COVID, these were images before COVID, we gathered 20,000, 30,000, 4 days at the African village in Tübingen, Germany. Do you know how much impact we created by changing the narrative and the images of the African community in Germany? Until today, it is a household project name that we created just by a small team of Africans that we came together, 7 of us. Of course, I presented the idea, but I could not build it alone. So every single children that we had our babies in the hands at that time, all of them now are the ones that we're looking to hand over the barrel for them to begin to run these platforms. Okay, so do not underrate the power of the collective in your community where you are. That's why the theme for Ujima today, I put it, shine the light for Africa. Shine Africa. Everywhere you are, you need to shine. You need to shine. Do not underestimate how much collectiveness you are putting into your community just by starting a project. And the power of collectiveness, we can take back everything. We always been taking back everything, but nobody has been telling us that. In this project in Germany, because we are not a solely black community, it's Germany, like I told you, this project brings together people of all colors, people of all race. Like literally, this Africa is so enticing, people can never resist it. I'm telling you, when we started, it was like it's a white festival, to be honest with you, because we were not we were few until we started now continuing in our work, and then the children were growing up, the community became bigger and bigger and bigger. If you see the first images, 80% was white, and we were just spotted even though we were the ones doing it. So the power of collectiveness can pull when we say resources, people from all other races to shine and to see us shine the light for Africa. Do not underestimate it. Okay, so there's nothing that we can do that without, look, women, all of us, we came together, the mothers, the women from all nations, I'm telling you, and people were there watching our work. We could tell our stories. Like you invited, we were the ones that invited the guests to open up the doors for them and show them the beauty of Africa. the culture of Africa, the spirituality of Africans. We showed them our beautiful clothes, how unapologetically. And you could imagine how every year it got bigger, it got bigger, it got bigger because, you know, the power of the melanin, this power of Africa that we keep underestimating every day. Without Africa, there's no world that exists anywhere. Quote me any day, anywhere. You know it yourself. Without us, the Black people, this melanated, representing. As a matter of fact, I watched a video this morning that was shared that melanin now has been proven to create, like just your melanin, create water and light. Your melanin can light up like solar, can light up. And that's why we shine everywhere we are. We shine. Yes, we shine. Okay. And these are some of the images of the long-term project that we've been doing in Germany before, even before COVID and after. This year we did not, because we're putting up, like I said, 2025, we're going to be awarding our communities for the great job. Before we started this project, I'm telling you, this business of African festivals was in the hands of white Germans. Okay. I mean, like, we were literally spectators when we went to those festivals. I mean, it was the German that, or the white people that were telling us, oh, Africa is like this. And you stand there and like, oh my God, really? We just came to Germany and we're still nursing our children until I said this nonsense. Oh, I'm sorry for my words. I'm really, really sorry. I said, this pattern of doing things has to stop. Some people have to take responsibility. And while I was still schooling and nursing the children, we created it. We would keep the children at home and we would go door to door, calling and knocking at everyone. You know, we were few, knocking at each other's door and say, we have to gather together. You know, little by little, look at the population that we could pull, 50,000 in a space. And who are those watching this light shine? All the races are coming together. Just this year that we didn't do it, I mean, I had thousands of calls. Why are we not hosting? Because it's literally a household name in Germany. Okay. That is the power of a collective, of a little community that can create a whole impact and change the narratives and get the economic value of this continent and its people called Africa. Okay. So this is 2019 when Professor PLO was invited and he came. He was shocked about what he saw. He's like, what is this that I'm seeing here? Even on the continent, I've never met a platform that brings together people of all cultures together, particularly Africans of all nations. We just are melting pot culture in this place. And he was shocked and he said, this project has to come back to Africa. I said, Prof, what about our children and us in the diaspora? And I'm so happy that the African Union came up with the SIT region, okay, of us and our children and our people that are here, to say the SIT region of Africa is in the diaspora. And we are the SIT continent. Okay. So yes, it was tremendous. The energy that happens when we come together as a collective. Okay. So, and by then you could remember we never even had started Pan-African Daily TV. That was 2019, like I told you, at the Pan-African conference that we had, the first one. And it's from that conference that, you know, the idea, or after when COVID launched in, that I decided to come online, because we always had our places where we meet. But because of COVID, we had to meet somewhere else. Okay. And so you could see, like I said, look at the population. This is how the atmosphere is like on the continent. We don't organize all those kind of course, they are high-end classical events and whatever. But I mean, we kept it. We keep that space, this Africa Festival Tübingen called Omoja. It's kept the way you do in Africa. We don't do anything to raise any standard or to fit in. No, you come in, you fit in. That's how Africa is. You just come in and you choose and you fit in as you see us. That's how you behave. So you see people come, they sit on the ground with one another, they bring their mats, they gather together, they bring even something with them, or they buy from our African market, sit together and eat together in a family, because we taught people what family is. We prove to people the essence of African culture, the need and the characteristics of working together, solidarity, building communities, involving each other. Okay? And the way they loved it, because these are people we need to give them exactly when we come together and do this Africa and just be us. I'm telling you, the world dances at your feet, because they're learning a lot. Children learned a lot. Children knew how to sit together with one another, mingle with one another. I know these images are shocking to some of you who know about Germany differently. You're like, what? So Germans are also, they are, of course, everybody can learn when you give them the platform. Particularly, we are a loving people. We just so open in our way of life, but we are not stupid. Okay? Like I said, you come, you feel free. People play, children play all day long. We run around. The space we rent it is a huge space of at least 20,000 square, right? It's a whole village. And we celebrate 4 days, our way of life, our dance, our music, our food. Come and see how they eat ugali here with their fingers, and they eat injera unapologetically. Because of course you teach them what to do. When we go to China, we're struggling with sticks to eat rice. What for? You come to Africa, you eat rice with your fingers like the Senegalese. You come to the festival, you eat fufu with your hands. It is mandatory for us. No, it's an abuse for our culture if you cannot do that. And they do it, and they love it. Other cultures from different backgrounds, from different religious bodies, whether they're Muslims or they are anybody. It's open to people of every status and standard. Okay? So this is another image, a very powerful image when I went to Ethiopia in 2014, not just now. And we like literally we just gathered, we just melted, like the image that I showed you with Sharon. We never knew each other. I went on a private visit to visit this Adwa. Okay, this Adwa, this battle space that we literally, I was so curious to know it. I'm telling you, when we met, the women were like, because I mean, I'm from West Africa, from Cameroon. I look different from my looks and everything, and even my attire. They just came, surrounded me, brought presents, brought flowers. We danced together. They taught me their dance. That's how I became exposed to Ethiopia, just by finding out. Like I said, and most of us who take that responsibility to go find out, I went for myself. At that time, it was an experience I would never forget. Like, you see the women, we never met in each, and they were just calling me sister, 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 sister. Nobody called us, but we didn't call ourselves by names. That is the power of the collective. And these are village women. They brought their projects to me. They were not asking me to support them or anything. They gave me baskets. They gave me symbolisms in their culture and every other thing. They gave me their clothing. Like, take. And that's African. We give a lot. But most often we are taught as if we collect, or we are taking, or we are beggars, because somebody is telling you, I donate and I feed you. And I didn't know we feed the world. Please come on. Of course, like in every circumstances where there are challenges, you go, even in our communities out here in the West, we have places where the Red Cross feed people that are the needy people. Do you see anybody parading those images and say, no, they're feeding the hungry people in Germany or in America? Because it's a normal thing that any community does that. Why would you impose that, for a whole continent of 1.4 billion people? That's a shame. But we prove it wrong anytime. And it's not really about individuals as me. That's my experience. It's really how much we can teach people the opposite of who we are, by not just going to be justifying anything, by just doing your work and let the work speak for you. That's the power of collectiveness, okay? Of our collective work. Like I showed this again. Who are these? They don't look like me and you, but they are so crazy about this Africa. Because when we open the door, even for the world, our resources will come. And Sister Sherry said, economics doesn't know color. Your money, the dollar doesn't know color. Okay? All these things, there's no color on it. There's no one that is colored and say, no, this is, of course, when they want to rubbish it, they say that's black money. But have we ever seen a black dollar bill? A black US dollar bill? Have we ever seen it? Right? It is about economic power. How much somebody has to leave that money at your space too. That is all what the game has been about. Survival of communities and stealing from one another. We are not like that. We open the door for you. We are authentic and original and just normal the way we are. Call us stupid, but we share the power of the collective. So people, when we open up our doors to them, they're all dressed, they're sitting down. Like I tell you, this is in front of the concert. No, we just not like, oh, you have to decorate all this shit. Of course, we have high also award events that people would, why not, of class. But like I said, the Africa Festival Tübingen, Germany, Umoja, is the replica. I like, you know me, it's my vision, it's my platform, a collective platform. But what I do is what I want to communicate and to teach the world, that we're unapologetic and that it's very okay to sit on the ground, to run around, to eat with your finger, to do that, because we are not primitive, but it's a healthy lifestyle. Okay. Yeah. So that is the best version of us. Yes, of course. So Ujima, as I said, is actually that place. This is the spot where we come to share and to remind ourselves of all the contributions that we have been doing. Most of us, you know me on the Pan-African Daily, but I'm just telling you exactly. Most of us that are coming from different walks of life to fight for this Africa have been doing a lot of things in the background. So much we've been doing, just so much. But because we don't have time to be selling ourselves, oh, I'm doing this, oh, I'm doing this. I never had time. Some people look at me today like, why were you not? I say, when you are on the ground and you're at the battleground, you don't think about any other thing because you're doing the work. And so we're so focused on building our communities. We just don't sit and look beautiful on the screens and become celebrities. We are celebrating for the liberation of our people. And that's too much celebrity. And that liberty is just the way we carry ourselves and represent our culture, our values, our languages, our food, our clothing. I mean, our diversity in everything. I could be this tomorrow, I'm this. That's the power of the African. No other race does that. No. Okay. So that power of the collective is so powerful, my beloved. I'll be ending shortly, but I will show you the video that I've been struggling because the way I took it, but the way it's appearing is always like, but what I want to tell you, it doesn't matter how it looks like. Please get the message. The message is loud and clear. The power of the collective. If the people of Ethiopia did not build that collectiveness, they would never have been able to beat the Italians with their mega weapons. It only took the vision of coming together for a common purpose. Each person bringing their skills, and they form that army just with bows and arrows. Sorry. You go to their museum, you see the pot of the women that were cooking and even the men that were doing soup, like the soup in Haiti, that Mama Bello, Professor Bello talks about it, and it's coming on the 1st of January. Please, let's not forget, by the day we're going to open up, by the day we're going to by the day we're going to open up, to transit into the new calendar here out here, that's the day we'll be sharing also the soup, the independent soup of IT. But I know Queen Professor Baina would come here live on the show to educate us more and to encourage us and to share links with us how you can be a part of that soup sharing. Okay. So, but like I said, that power of coming together builds and creates a lot and move shakeable things. You do not underestimate your contribution in doing that. So let us watch the video. I hope I have it right here. And be empowered, be motivated, and yes, we stick together and move.
This land, this place is a replica of a place where Africans were able to show their power. Are you all with me?
We're with you.
It was a place that in history we were able to write down that we can truly be victors if we come together. No force that can come up with machines and whatever can overcome. Are we together?
We are.
Let's bring everybody in.
Tell us.
Let's bring everybody in. Let's bring everybody in. Truly, we want you to take this moment in, because we are remembering years ago when we did not have the power that we have now, when we had no technology that we can claim now, we were able to be victors. War is not what I'm talking about now for our future. We're talking about, Peter, we're talking about development. But we want to show you in the hardest moment for Africa, how we were able to be victors. You see, the battle began from that side. And this side where the king and his war leaders were together, ready. Early in the morning, they were ready, but we were more prepared. We came earlier. We said, we're ready, where are you? You've heard that it took a year for the whole process and so on. But the Battle of Adwa happened, major part of it happened in a place called Mendibdab, right there. In the middle, where you see the horses and the carriages and so on that have fallen. It took 2 hours to claim our victory. Do we hear a warm applause for our people? This is the show of African power, ability. 2 hours, not with machine guns and so on. Horses, arrows, and swords that you will have seen over there. And above all, a love for its people and a commitment to make the nation great or die doing it. This is not just a sandcast. This is not just something to remember. It's something as Africans we can truly be proud of. Because you will see, or if you haven't, the newspapers that were publishing about the victory of Abyssinia, of Ethiopia, over one of the biggest powers in the world at that time. And they said, these people must not be black. They worked hard to tell the story that this was a different race. They were in Africa, but they're not black. But look, they have won the European power. And we told them, we told the world that it wasn't about our color, and it's never about our color. Because you don't have to tell us about our color. We have mirrors here. We know we're black. And that's our beauty. In a tribe within Ethiopia, there's a tribe, or an ethnic group, that preaches openly that black is pure, beautiful. When you go before the courts in that culture, there are three colors that are put out: black, red, and white. If you see a red, they're telling you, you're lying, show the truth. If you are convicted and they say you're guilty, they'll show you white. And if they say you're free, you're clean, it's black. This is our story. This is something we can all be proud of. We do not make Adwa or this museum or this just for Ethiopians. We made it for every African that has lived before, that is living now, and our children and grandchildren that will come to say, our people have done this. And let me tell you something. When that happened, when Ethiopia won the battle against an aggressor, we showed the whole of Africa we can really do it. And that is when movements started happening. Ladies and gentlemen, Ethiopia is a proud African that has become a beacon of light for freedom in the past. And we're still working hard. Don't worry. Black is beautiful, remember? Darkness doesn't scare us. Now, it is that strength, it is that confidence that we have gone out to build one of the biggest dams in Africa. Yes. The Great Renaissance Dam is not just for Ethiopia, it's for the whole of Africa. Yes. To show that we didn't need anybody, that we together can build even something greater. This was our whole history. The Great Renaissance Dam is the history we wrote now. We talk about Nkrumah, we talk about Haile Selassie, we talk about all.
Okay. Like I said, I'm sorry for the quality of the video. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can somebody type? Because my microphone, I can hear myself even. Oh, okay. Thank you, Stevie. Thanks. Yeah, I got you. Thank you. Yes, so that's just a sniper. Like I said, I don't know why the video keeps spinning, but I'm still going to put it in the right content. I mean, that one I just use it on my phone, but we still have very quality video on that trip to Ethiopia. And of course, we are going to make that move right there. Sometimes, like I said, when we speak about these things, it's difficult. We're planning to do the Africa Day celebration, but I just got I think we'll be able to do those awards out there in December 2025 in Addis. Okay. Of course, Marshall, I rotate. Of course, I've been doing that. So yes, this shot a 5-minute video. They kind of like do a replica of Adwa, and they showed the place where the battle took place. And now, because Ethiopia has built a big museum to celebrate the heroes and the heroes of Adwa. So now they kind of like simulate it, the plan. That's why you saw it like that. And we that went as a group to tour that event, we were about 100 people. Okay, that we went together. And so they walk us through, and so he was kind of like explaining, that power. So it was such a powerful moment. You could not imagine what the power of the collective could do together. That battle lasted just for 2 hours. It never was something like people fighting now for I don't know for how many with all the sophisticated weapons that they have in a whole sort of stuff. This is they're fighting for thousands of years. We know about the Palestinian question even when we were still going to school, right? And so, but the Battle of Adwa, Ethiopia, lasted for 2 hours, and they whooped them out of that place till today. Okay, and that's something Africa is truly proud of. We are a symbol, and Ethiopia has upheld that value and bringing us. It's not just only going to Cameroon, to the slave village in Cameroon. It's not just going to Senegal, to the door of return to Goree Islands, or to going to Ghana to the door of no returns. It's also about once we go there and we learn our history and we knew how we were hijacked, it is also very necessary to take our children and ourselves to go to Adwa, where we did impossible things, okay, where we break the knees of the European power called Italy. Not just only Italy, because somebody had asked a very interesting question sometime, but we'll deal about that. We're talking about the power of the collective and the time to take responsibility right now. Okay. And but Ethiopia had fought so many wars. And did you think it was only the alliance of Italians that came to Adwa? No, they always network together. Like I said, there's some collective, when they have bad intentions, they work together. And there was Britain there was other European nations that joined the forces of Ethiopia, actually, of Italia. And the Ethiopians said, we're going to show you what we can do, what we've been doing to create mankind. All right. So that power and the benefits of collectiveness is something that we literally have to thank ourselves for. Like I said, if you learned something today, if we shared something today, thank yourself for it. So going to Ethiopia, learning about this route, empowering ourselves is you simply just thanking yourself. It is like go to Goree Islands or go to Bimbia in Cameroon, the slave villages. You would cry, you will meditate, you will do anything. Take your next trip to Ethiopia and dance and celebrate the victory over the devil and the demons of Africa. Okay? So, yes, we need to work together. Ujima is telling us today. We have been doing it, but we just need to maybe enhance how we do it much better. So, I want to thank all of you for being a part of this presentation. Tomorrow is Ujama. That one, that is the key. You understand? Ujama, building cooperatives together. That is about business. So we're going to talk about the power of Mansa Musa. Because sometimes we talk about Mansa Musa. It's just like today also. It could never be me that built such a massive platform. I was a visionary. I'm the founder, the president, and everything. But it took the whole collective of the African community. Each year at the festival in Tübingen, I work with 200 volunteers. Some fly in from Africa, pay their flight, pay their hotels to come and volunteer. Because Germany, I don't want to say it again and again and again. You know where the partition of what we are struggling to put together today happened. Now, when I confront Germans, they say, it was not us, the idea. We just met in Germany. They just met in Germany, our forefathers. Like, you don't want to blame us of the deeds that our forefathers did. You understand? And so, yes, of course. And showing the power in the community. Cheryl, you're just saying it. That's the communications that we do. Because we own these platforms, we own these communities, we invest in these communities, we pay our taxes here. You know how many Africans are paying their taxes everywhere that we go to build those communities. So it is our right. It's just a basic human right. But we do understand that nobody's going to hand over that right to you. Are you crazy? Are you kidding me? No, you got to take it. Anyhow that you have to take it. That's why we were saying, yes, thank you, Queen Kandeka. It's time for us to unite. We have been united long time ago, since the Battle of Adwa. It's just time for us to show our unity. That's what I say all the time. That we don't have no business saying we have to unite. We united. I don't know anybody that is more united than us. We just have to show it. We have to show that unity. It's a product that we need to communicate and put it in the public. We are united. This is how we do our dance. This is how we do our clothing. This is how we dance. This is how we celebrate. This is how it's a showcase now of the values that we have. We're not struggling to unite any longer. And that's the narrative I want to leave with you. And I want us to take it into 2025 or the next day. We've been united since the creation and we built other civilization. We have always been united. The difficulty, not the difficulty, the next step is to show it. We need to brag. Honestly, we need to slay. We need to showcase our unity. And it happens when we collectively gather at these platforms to volunteer. It's not always, and the brother, I think he's watching me right now. The Buffalo Soldiers, they were there 2020. This brother Jan from the Caribbean, Antigua, mobilized himself and came 2023. And he's just waiting to come back because the feeling, the energy, even though we were just coming out from COVID and everybody was still like, but the energy we could pull there, I will show you the pictures tomorrow. I will show you the pictures of 2023. Tomorrow was crazy. I mean, 2023 was, it was like everybody, like the jobbers were like, what? Like, despite coming out from a difficult year of COVID, and you remember 2022, Cheryl, Synovia, everybody, they had already bought their tickets to come. And they had to come again and scheme up against us and brought all sort of conditions why we cannot host more than 500 people because our number was just escalating, right? And we went through a lot of damages, but we resisted. And that's the power of the collective, the resilience in us. And we say, you know what? We lost so much money in 2022. And we say, we're going to come back to you because money has never been our problem as Africans. You know it. You know where the money is. And we came back in 2023. Guys, it was crazy. Okay? So that is the resilience when you know. We talked yesterday about our purpose and the reason why and why we stay focused and positioned in our mission is when you have clear goals. When you set the goals, that's the language of the academics. When you have the mission, the vision, and the purpose, and you know it, you can skyrocket. Like I said, it takes just one, not even the energy of the collective. You're going to see, and the more harder a fist is, the more stronger the strength. Like you can literally see, like your muscles. So look at my muscles. Oh my God. The more it is, right? June is coming. We're gonna gather again 2024, but it's gonna be, like I said, awarding. It's the year of awarding. We need to award thousands of these communities, mothers who left their babies, even our babies that were still nursing when we had to use their pocket money and everything to build this community and build this powerful platform. Today, medias are writing about us. Oh, the most powerful, African festival hosted by the most powerful Susan Tata. But it took a whole collective. We have our American barracks here, you know that. All our siblings, they come together and we just fuse and just do our thing. That's the power of collective. It doesn't mean that in your small place, or you call yourself your small place, it's a big space for every African. Anywhere, whether at your job place, everything, we shine. We shine as you cannot believe it. We shine like the light is blinding. And that's why you see we can never pass anywhere without unnoticed. I still told you I will share that video in the group of the power of the melanin, that light creates light bulb, like light, literally. Like when we pass anywhere, it will light up that space. The energy. Why do you think we are noticed? Why do you think we recognize? Why Why do you think we it's like you, the light, it's not just the color brightens up everything. There is that energy and that light in it. And the energy can create water. Can you imagine? My father used to tell me this, that when in the past, I mean, he's of late, in the past, when they had to go to battle, they had to come together. And when they came together, they melted like water. When the enemies were coming, they were like ice. When they just put their hands together and they say, we're going to be invincible, they were just ice. I'm not saying my great grandfather, I'm saying my father in my time, right? That's why African stories are very important. Show you the power of taking responsibility and the energy when we come together. Wonders happen. We're invincible. Okay? So, yes, tomorrow we're going to talk about Ujima. And Ujima is about dough. We call it dough. In Niger, we call it shishi. Right? The shishi things. We're going to talk about how much we must go, where we need to put our money, where we need to fund our money, where we need to buy what we make. Brother Marvin said one time, if I don't make, I don't wear. It's a brand. And I need to empower cooperatives, the need to build businesses, and how we stick to these businesses as a collective. All right. So we see ourselves. I'm just laughing at the comments. Anyway, I just have to spend this time, give you a shout out there. I see a lot of you have been posting. Like I said, we must think collectively and prepare ourselves in America, because if we get reparations, we will have to leave. Clean and clear. Cheryl tells it the way it is. We need, you see, that's also one thing, preparing already. Preparation is very necessary. We said it yesterday. Self-determination, and yeah, we need to be. So push it up. Yes, African cloth and shea butter and honey. Oh my God, like I told you, this year in Germany at the Umoja Germany Awards and Festival, hey, we gonna push this. I mean, the African made clothes, hand, shea butter, and honey. Not just the honey. Ethiopians have a honey drink. Oh my God, honey beer. I sipped a little. It doesn't make you tipsy. They just call it honey beer. I don't know why. Traditionally brewed like a palm wine, and everything is just perfect. Yes. So yes, of course, we need to come together. We need to push our Ojama. We need to build cooperatives. We need to create networks and organizations and begin to empowering each other. As for us and the Pan-African Daily and our organization Town, which stands for the Africa We Want Network, we'll just be going around communities awarding excellence and, tapping each other. Stevie, I'm telling you, if you taste the one of Ethiopia, hey, you can imagine the origin. They are cotton from cloth to everything. Oh my God, I'm really really moved into that community, and we're gonna be marketing a lot their food, the injera. That's what we'll be eating for 4 days in Tübingen, and we'll be eating injera and fufu. Honestly, that's on the menu. It's unbeatable. The 4 days we're going to be doing, we're going to be getting on also the herbs. Oh my God. You just saying it, the herbs, the herbs. Oh, I just cannot leave my desk now. I should have showed you my moringa herbs from Ethiopia. I came with the herbs. I came with the black seed oil, the original that they take it from their own plants. That there, the black seed oil, the moringa powder, and the moringa herbs. And that's my Ethiopian family that gave it to me. And all these things, I've just told them, please put them all together. We're gonna market it. We're gonna celebrate it in June in Germany, at the awards in Germany. And then when we go to Addis at the awards in December, oh my God, we're just gonna, please make sure you already start to start to keep that's why we have to put the package. Addis was not ready for us in June because they say it's a political a period at the African Union where they celebrate the African Day. So, I mean, we respect that and we come in together. So when we put a packet, it's gonna be like, it's a distraction. So we push the Addis Awards, Umoja Awards, Addis Ababa in December or November. So make sure you start um, getting your tickets now, reserving and everything. I'll share the packet with you. And then even the one in Germany too, I'll share it with you. And then we also have September. Who tells you America is not going to be working? September, we're going to be doing New York Awards. Okay. Yes. Empowering our communities right there. That's the community that made me to give those hugs and everything. So we're going to be doing that. So this year we're going to do 4 awards, right? Germany, USA, Addis, and yeah, and the diaspora in New York. So, whether New York or whatever, or Detroit or wherever we're gonna be, yes, we'll settle that out. Sharon is going to give us the address. All right, Sharon and Stevie and Sinovia, they're the queens out there that are going to put that package together. Their words in that community. All right, so yes, a lot. Of course, you have moringa. We're saying that. Good. And the black soap. Yes, the black soap. Ethiopian, they have their own black soap. It's not the Ashanti soap, but they have another one. I need Ashanti Posh Ash cleansing feet roots. I know that one too. But the black soap in Ethiopia, theirs is brown. It's not really black like the Ghana own. The Cameroon own too is black. The black soap, my God, that's a therapy that we have it in our store. Our store is coming shortly. Just give us a couple of weeks. You get it on Pan African or Town Shop on our website. You can order that because the women with which are producing this soap, you're going to see it. We don't just buy all those China funny things over Amazon and nothing. No, 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 no. We're creating that platform where we support these local community projects and we get the products from them. And that's what I mean, for Ethiopia, I already went to those collective, those women groups that I'm showing you, the things that they produce. And Ethiopia has the most beautiful flowers. That's why Addis Ababa is called New Flower. The meaning of Addis Ababa is the new flower. Okay. And they export flour and they have a specific type of flour that they eat it. They drink it like tea. Its decoration is this, it's everything. Okay. So, I mean, yes. So, building cooperatives, we're going to give a strategy for ourselves. And it's really like pushing, representing, like I said, representation is so important. It's so important. So, bring out all your beautiful African handmade clothes. We're going to be celebrating an all awards purely African. We don't want to see anything that I'm sorry. I'm not trying to impose. I'm really sorry. I sound now like I'm sounding now like, but I wish this words actually a dress code. Hey, you're gonna see all sorts, right? We're gonna see all sort of clothing. The next contact that I'm taking now is the women from Burkina Faso. The women from Burkina Faso that are doing the mud clothes. Oh, that one, when we get it on our shopping list and our corporation leave, I'm telling you that's crazy. So, but we're still trying to navigate that contact, and we'll see. I mean, before we start the awards, we already have the mud clothes from Burkina Faso that tells our stories and everything, right? Yes, from the Kentes in their different collections, from the Atogos from Cameroon, from the Ashokes from Nigeria. All only our indigenous clothing, not even this one that we go and map it out in China and that. No, they handmade because it's all about spirituality, the connection when they weave those things, the energy, the love, the power that they put it in weaving every single step, and you put it on you, it connects. And so any industrial thing, nah, 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 nah. Okay. Yes, of course. So, good. So reparations, thank you. Reparations, at the end of the day, all we need is reparation. We're giving ourselves, the spiritual reparation of our minds right now. And so how we're going to represent, oh my God, it's going to, woo, It's going to be crazy. I'm just trying to put out your messages. Why not create an Akebulan fun? Why not, Wilmot? Why not? Why not? Why not? Tomorrow is the day where we talk about creating cooperatives. Every single one of us has a brain and a mind and a project. And like I said, the collective is us just bringing all these projects together. Okay. Yes. So, I'm kind of like, post your comment here. And honestly, I'll really be putting it here. Okay. I'm even going back. The challenges are great in some of our communities. Some powers need to be addressed and broken. Ooh, I don't think we have time for that, Mr. Marshall. If you really ask my opinion, we don't have time. We don't have time for that. We have just so much ahead than the things that we want to fight for. There's too much beauty. There's too much business. There's too much economy. There's too much to do. We don't have time to fight. The fight that we're fighting is a beautiful, sweet story right now. It's a fight of dancing, enjoying, and awarding ourselves. We don't have time for that anymore. Yes, we don't want to look like people that are always fighting. Fighting for what? You have just too much on your plate. Look at the amount of gold that keeps coming out every day from Congo. And we come here and we're chasing the little small things that they put in their shops. Come on. Ain't you looking for the big cake ahead of you, or for the going back to get the piece of cake, the little tiny piece of cake that was taken and fighting to go there? No, 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 no. We're not doing that anymore. We are building and we're celebrating and showcasing our powerfulness. Hey, I can imagine how we would come out. Oh, God. I just only can imagine when we would represent. Give me a break. So 2025, we're getting into doing it to showcasing. Just do our thing. I showed you what we were able without talking about any. Honestly, I started touching the agenda 1884 is when we started doing the decolonization lectures here. Did I not know about it? I knew it. Have I not been to Berlin? I've been there. I've been to that room where they met. But that was not my business. I was focusing on putting the African community together, because they say, when you want to fight, just fight a good fight. Okay. Be always winning. Yes. I love to support. I love and support your powerful energy. Thank you. Thank you, Queen Jay. Thank you so very much. It's a collective thing, right? As it's coming back. It's coming back to us. Ujima enabled Tanzania to be resilient. That's so true, Benjamin. That's so true. That's where the word comes from, as a matter of fact. And, we know Tanzania is the origin of Swahili, Kiswahili. When we say origins, I mean, that's one of the highest spoken. So, of course, we learn from you, from the Jomo Kenyatta's, and how they wanted to use language actually to unite back Africa the way it was. And that's why, it's really deeply rooted. So, yes, of course. What again? Did I just not miss a comment here? Jah protect his children. Thank you very much. There's some new comments down here before we leave. Not a fight, dog. Our concern is yes, it's true. I got you. Yes. It's just so true. No, but I still was just still passing us a message, Marshall. I do understand that that was not what you meant, but I still wanted to, to disengage us from this negative energy of always thinking, we have to fight. We just don't have time to fight. We have time to love ourselves so much and celebrate our excellence, our collectiveness. Just enjoy. Just enjoy. Don't have time for that. Good. Thank you. I think I would want to leave now because I also have a family meeting online coming up right now, and they're waiting for me to, for us to finish here on the Pan African Daily TV. So tomorrow we're going to shine again. We're going to shine, talking about our collectiveness, creating our businesses and taking it to the next level. It's just about shining. Like that little thing that keeps making you to wait That simple small thing that keeps making you to win. That's what I want to talk about tomorrow. The cooperative, it's not the ones that are existing, but what keeps us not to do it. Millions of us watching me now have a good plan, a business strategy. But we are so stuck in this thing of no, we have to, we have to do it this way. We need to be perfect in the way we do it so that it will no, we don't need to be. Just do it. Just do it. Okay. So thank you so very much. I have to leave now, and we see ourselves tomorrow. Keep it sweet. Okay. And we see us tomorrow. Good night. Bye. Okay. You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherland's calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.